Hi all, this is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was greater than 32 degrees, and that's all that I care about. It was walking weather, it was nice weather. Dr. J did take a walk. Dr. J had a very busy day today. That's why I'm coming to you so late. But I made it. Hopefully the video quality will be fine and you'll be able to see and hear me. Not that you want to see me. I don't think I shaved in about 2 days. Yeah, I remember yesterday not shaving when I went to the mall. So that's 2 days at least. And anyway, it doesn't matter how I look. It matters what words of wisdom spew out of my mouth. Dr. J has been hot. Dr. J can do no wrong, at least so far. According to my theory, as I've been expounding it, there will be a rotation out of the Dow and S&P, out of the big boys into the small cap, into the RUT 200 stocks, Russell 2000. Sorry, Russell 2000. So I'm curious to keep tabs on the RUT versus the Dow versus the NASDAQ. And we're going to do that tonight. We're going to look at the RUT comparatively to the NASDAQ and to the Dow, just to keep a watch on that. In addition, we're going to talk about and chart some very interesting biotechs that I accidentally omitted, like Adoro, like, what else did I chart? CVM. I'm very high on CVM. In fact, I threatened to make 20 different trades today. I only made one. I doubled my position in CVM. I figure it's going to happen within a month or so. The data readout on the head and neck cancer trial. And I'm very optimistic that it's going to be favorable. It's my own personal opinion, and as always, my opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Do your own due diligence. But I'm confident. I plan on adding another chunk, probably tomorrow. So if I added X today, I'll add another X to get 3X. And I'm not going to go to 4X, however. I'm going to just sit there with 3X. I have a feeling that based on the design of the trial and the fact that we need to show better overall survival than standard of care, I think we're going to meet that criteria. How much better overall survival do we need to show? I don't know. But we're probably going to do this because the longer it takes to get the data readout means that the longer it took for people to die. I hate to say it that way. But that's basically what we're waiting for. We're waiting for enough people to die that we can measure the overall survival. Terrible illness, this squamous cell head and neck cancer. Ooh. I hope that we cure this horrible disease called cancer. I mean, we have so many irons in the fire now, immunotherapy, and that's what this is. This is a form of immunotherapy. CVM has multikine, which doesn't exactly bolster the immune system the way I understand it, but it kind of lets the person's immune system find the tumor and direct its resources, its macrophages, its T cells, natural immunity to attack a specific location in the body where the tumor is. I think that's the explanation that the CEO gave. It's very fascinating. The CEO believes it will be a successful data readout in phase 3, and I do too. I have no reason not to. The CEO is a smart guy, Gersten, and I believe him. I believe that he believes it, put it to you that way. So based on my gut feeling more than the chart, I did to go into more CVM today. We'll look at the chart. We're also going to look at the chart of Geron again, because it had a nice pop today. We're going to look at, I said Adoro. We're going to look at CGC, which continued to retreat. And we're going to look at a nice level to buy at. I, for one, am looking to add more. So I'll let you know where I probably will add more. I thought I would add more tandem today, but I was looking for it to make a new high. If it doesn't make a new high, it might make a double top and go down 10%, 15%. So I'd rather wait and buy it higher than take a chance on it going down 10%. Of course, I could do my usual nibble here and add a little another nibble there and so on. It's another approach. But my approach, my thinking now is wait for the new high or wait for a correction, not to chase it. It was down about a point to $50, but I don't have the chart of tandem. So there's really no point elaborating too much on that. I'm looking at Amazon and Apple charts, and according to my theory, we're going to have a rotation out of the FANG, not out of the FANG, we'll still be in the FANG, but the FANG will not continue to be the leaders of the market. I think the Biotechs, other small cap tech maybe, will be the leaders. So I'm charting a small cap tech stock that does cybersecurity, actually is capable of jamming, camera, recording, every part of a mobile device you want in secure areas. So we're going to look at that stock. I don't remember the symbol offhand, inpx, something like that. And we're going to look at, I don't remember everything. We're just going to go there and look at it. How's that? Because I have about 10 charts. So we got to get to it. So again, do your own due diligence. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I want to thank all of you who did subscribe and are now following me and giving me those thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I think all my viewers are really great. I love your comments. Okay, shout out to Greg for all his help. Let's take a look at what's going on here. We're going to share screen and go from left to right for change. The RUT was the strongest of the 4 indices between the NASDAQ, Dow, S&P, and the RUT. The Russell 2000 was up 5.22, or 1/3 of 1%. And after that, I think it was the NASDAQ was up 0.2%, and the S&P was up 0.15%, and the Dow was the weakest, up 0.03%. But as you recall from my weekend wrap, the Dow was the strongest performer over the last 6 months of the 4 indices. So it wouldn't surprise me if we reverse and the Russell 2000 becomes the strongest performer going forward, as the Dow will continue to rise, will go to 30,000, but the Russell will go up at a greater percentage, in my mind, than the Dow. So let's take a look at the Russell. I mean, what can you say? It's a beautiful chart. It made a new high, which we're waiting for the Dow to do. It took out the old high of, come on, mouse, I should have bought a new mouse when I was in the mall yesterday. 12.3 was the old high at 15.53. So we take that high out, and we're looking to take the next high out at 11.8 high at 15.80 something, 86. I think we'll get there. We're very close. What is this? 15.86. Yeah, why not? We're not far away at all. 12 points. We did five of those 12 points today. In 2 more days, we could be there. I think we're in the throes of the last leg of the bull market, and the last leg will be a violent one that takes us to all the indices to new highs. That's my theory. I've been saying that for the last 6 months. Okay, let's look at the Dow. The Dow Jones Industrial Averages. We'll take a look. By the way, we're looking at a lot of these charts together. I'm looking at some of them for the first time because I had a very busy day, and these are the stocks I want to cover, but I haven't had a chance to prepare. We're kind of winging it. The Dow is in an upward channel, as you can see, a beautiful upward channel. We're trading in the middle of that upward channel. There's nothing really much to say other than I love it. It made another new high today, albeit it was a small-bodied green candle, but every day can't be like Friday. So this was a very good day. Up 0.03% doesn't look like much, but it was up to new highs. I'll take it. I expect more of the same tomorrow. I mean, day to day, you really can't tell because stocks go up and what? They go down. Yeah. Stocks sometimes go down. Amazon.com had a day for itself for a change. That doesn't look right. It's not right. I have no idea why it gave me that number. Well, let's see what happens when I hit full screen. Oh boy, I hate these when it's so wrong. This looks better, up 20 points, 1.22%, more than any of the indices. It had a beautiful green candle that looks like it's engulfing the day before, which I love. Let's take a look at that. Did Dr. J tell you that in a downturn, Dr. J loves engulfing candles? I'm in love with engulfing candles, and we sure enough have one. I think, well, maybe not. The body may not be totally engulfed. Let's see, the open of the day was 1628. Remember that. The close of the day was 1627. We're not quite engulfing. Let me check that again. The open, 1627.86. The close, 1627.58. It's so close. You know what? Technically it's not an engulfing candle, but it's so close. I'm going to call it an engulfing candle just because I want it to be. I'm going to say we had an engulfing candle. P.S. We didn't, but I'm going to say that it's an engulfing candle. Don't tell anybody that Dr. J is lying about today's green candle on the Dow on Amazon. I want Amazon to have an engulfing candle. Therefore, I'm disregarding some 1/10 of 1 point or something. It looks close enough to me to call it an engulfing. It's not exactly at the very bottom of a downtrend, but close. So I think it could have some meaning. I think we can get to that 1735 area. I may give up on trying to wait for 1780. I might take profits at 1735, 1734, just to get the heck out of this trade already. All right, Apple. I mean, I'm making money, but I'm not making money at a very great rate of return. Apple, same problem. I bought at 152 and stagnating, up 0.3%. which is an up day. I mean, I shouldn't complain. But it's tiresome because it goes up and down such a small amount every day, and it's trading in the middle of its trading range. I mean, it looks just fine. It's not collapsing. There's no reason to sell. It's a hold, as I said the other day. But I'm losing patience. I told you guys that Dr. J is going to stay, but I don't know. I might have better places to put my money. I might just swap out, take my little profit and run. Adoro. Adoro was a request by a viewer. Why didn't I include Adoro in my biotech report? I'll tell you why. I had so many other stocks, I just didn't have room. But you're right, it's had a nice move, and it's worth looking at. It came off its lows on the 29th of January of 237, and it's gone all the way to 388. That's one hell of a move. So it's had a huge move. Today there's a harami, which after a long move is not a good sign. It also came back to close at the midpoint of its candle, albeit a tall green candle. It has a very big wick, so it's on the move up, but I expect we might move down for a few days, test this lower trend line, then come back up. I think, judging by this trend line, that we may very well test it out around here at about 475. That's another almost buck move up left in it. I think we pull back first and then we rise perhaps to 470, 475. So I think, I don't know what's cooking with Adoro. I mean, it's an immunotherapy company. I haven't been following the fundamentals of it lately. I apologize. But I know it works in a similar fashion. Their drug works in a similar fashion to Advaxis, based on the listeria bacteria, which stimulates the immune system and attacks the cancer. So I'm not sure how the delivery system works, but something good must have happened between here and here. Nice pop. All right, so I perhaps would be a buyer on a pullback to the 360 area. acrx doesn't mean I will be, but I'm going to consider it. acrx. Another viewer asked me about acrx. I think the question was, is acrx for real? Looks for real to me. Look at these 3 beautiful green candles in a row. Broke 292, the resistance at 292, rather easily. I do think, considering the pop and the pop, it may pull back to that 292 level, 295 maybe, before continuing on up towards the 378 level. acrx is accelerating. I like acrx from the chart, and I know that it has a new drug approved that hasn't yet shipped for pain, and it's a sublingual painkiller. I think it's an opioid, but I'm not sure. It's about as much of the fundamentals that I know. inpx is a little tech company that barely trades. Its volume is so low, but its chart is looking better. I had to put it on a 4 hours because it looked like little dots otherwise. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we made a double bottom down here at about 130, 131. So Dr. J likes double bottoms. And we have a downward trend line. I think it's going to go to that downward trend line. The question is, before the apex of the triangle, will it break through to the upside? I think it will. I think this is interesting from the fundamentals, being that it has a deal with IBM to use. IBM is using their proprietary jamming device to kill audio recorders, cameras, you name it, on any mobile device in any particular area. So this could be used for security very nicely. Security, I guess you might call it a little high-tech security company. Okay, CVM. And a shout out to Fred for pointing me at looking at that one. CVM. Again, Dr. J apologizes for leaving this one out over the weekend. I meant to include it, but I just skipped my mind. Cellside Corporation, CVM. I think it's found its support. It's very good support right here at 275, 276, just about where it closed. I bought a little bit higher, very pennies higher than where it is now. I'm hoping I can buy at the open, perhaps, at around the same price, 276, as I think it will go to the higher end of its trading range of 303. The question is, will I be a seller at that point, or will I be looking for more? My thinking is before data, it will get up to the 350 level. So my target is actually 350 on this one. At that point, if the data readout doesn't yet happen, I may sell a portion. Geron, that was a mistake I made with Geron. I didn't sell any waiting for the data readout, not waiting for the continuation decision by Johnson & Johnson, and that cost me dearly. I paid through the nose. Geron is coming back, so whatever I have left of Geron, which is about 25% of what I had, is maybe going to make some money back for me. It had a nice pop today. I have no idea why, other than this is what I said over the weekend. Analyst recommendations and Dr. Rizzo coming over from Janssen. How much more that's good for, I don't know. I mean, I think support, resistance at 168 might hold. Drinking a little water. If it does go through that resistance, then we could be looking at a move back to close to the $2 area, which would be nice. I'd rather be sitting at $2 than I would be at $1.56. I'm not going to sell because the portion of Geron that I'm holding is being tucked away safely, looking for the big hit 2-3 years down the road. CGC, I'm looking to trade. I'm looking to buy a little, sell a little. Isn't that a song? Buy a little, sell a little. I'm looking to buy a little more at around 45, 44.75, something like that, and get rid of some of it at 51. So I think it's got a lot of potential to trade between the lines here, 51 to 44.50. Maybe it goes lower to this descending line, or maybe it goes to $40. So I buy some more. I would not put a stop loss in so quickly, I don't think. If it goes below 40, I might take my loss. But I think I am going to add to my CGC for trading purposes The amount that I own now, I think I'm just holding. So that's my plan anyway. Trade some, hold some. That's my report for the night. I'm sorry I'm late with that report. I really am. I thought it would be much quicker. I mean, I thought I would be on much sooner, but there's so many things that just get in the way, like eating dinner, like oh, I don't know, I'm just kidding. Million things. So right now I'm looking at a blue head with a blue body and a black screen. Ah, hey, Dr. J, thanks for coming back. All right, so I want to say shalom, sayonara, au revoir, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, sei gesund. See you guys tomorrow. Ciao.